What's up and welcome back, guys. I am your host GeekNerdy and welcome back to my channel. This is the S.A.D series where we talk about things that stress us out, give us anxieties, or depression. I do apologize if the audio is off or bad. I am not in my usual location. So, this video will be about emotional intelligence and 3 key factors that go into that. The first would be childhood. I feel like most parents don't understand emotions and intelligence kind of go hand in hand. If you're not teaching your child to feel their emotions and understand those emotions and how to work through those emotions, they will not be able to understand those emotions later in life. So they will react in a improper way. And to me, I would consider that a form of abuse. Because if you are not teaching your children to be emotionally intelligent, you are not teaching them about the world. Because if you cannot control your emotions and the things that you go through, then you will never have a proper outlook on life. Everything will be a struggle. That intelligence is an extraordinary thing to learn at an early age. I feel like I learned emotional intelligence very early on because I was quiet. And so I just paid attention to things and I learned things, some good, some bad. Good situations and bad situations happen throughout your whole entire life. And that's why emotional intelligence is extraordinarily important for your children to learn at an early age so they will not go out into the world and do things just because their emotions tell them to do. They need to use their brains and not just their emotions. Sometimes you have to learn to turn your emotions off and use your brain and think logically in situations where things don't make sense. Because people will fall in love with someone that says that they love them, but at the same time they abuse them. They abuse them financially, they abuse them physically. That's not a good thing. And that means that that person was not taught at an early age what abuse really looks like. Because people would say that they love you and then, let's just say for instance, hit you in the nuts with keys and then laugh about it. Okay. No. You have to realize when and where love is given and how it is given. And so that leads me to number 2, how you learn. If you have a hard time learning, I feel like it's because your emotional intelligence is low and your growth has already been stunted because you can't even control your emotions. That's one of the first things as a child that you learn is that you have emotion. Because when you come out, the doctor does what? They spank you and you cry. When you cry, that is a feeling, that is an emotion. That's the first thing you learn when you get into this world. Somebody forces an emotion onto you just so they understand that you're alive. That's abuse. Like from the beginning of your life, you're already being abused. And it's sought as making sure the child is alive. Okay, isn't the child gonna cry anyway? Right? Because that's the only thing they know how to do. Learning how you learn is extremely important because some people, they only learn the negative things out of situations and not the positive things out of situations. And when you can't see the yin and the yang, there is no balance within your life, right? Because if you just up here yinning all the time, then where your yang at? And if you're up here just yanging all the time, where your yin at? Some people, they just ridiculously happy all the time, but they're depressed. And then some people, they're just upset all the time, and they're depressed. So neither one of them are in a joyful place because they don't understand the emotions. They think that if they force their own emotions, that their life will be okay. And that's just not it. And that leads me to number 3. What you choose to learn. You can learn good and the bad and still know which one to do over the other because you have emotional intelligence. You can choose what you feel like doing, even when you're upset, even when you're sad, even when you're depressed, even when your anxiety is just all over the place. It's just like you have learned to have that calming place and choose to calm yourself and teach yourself to motivate yourself to do better. Better. Okay? Like that's literally what we're here on this planet to do, is better. If you haven't learned yet that life is hard, then you're behind. And that's part of your emotional intelligence. Because if you know that life is hard, then why are you crying about it all the time? Right? Why are you not taking it to somebody else and coming up with a good solution? Somebody else of age, like around your age. Don't go to somebody else younger than you that may not be as intelligent. Or, well, if they're more intelligent than you, then you can go to them. But if they are not more intelligent, or they don't come out with reasonable thoughts, then why are you going to them? Why would you even participate in this situation if they've already shown you that their emotional intelligence is like way off balance? Why would I speak to you about anything when I cannot trust you to not abuse me, right? Because if I'm coming to you with a situation and you just gonna give me whatever type of information, no, that is abuse. You have to give them valid and good information, and you have to explain why you're giving them that information. And you have to also learn to teach from a place of love and understanding. Because your children or nieces and nephews, because I don't have kids, but I know what it's like to take care of someone who needs you day in and day out. And you have to love them and understand them in order for them to pay attention and understand where you're coming from. And if they don't feel that love or understanding, they're not coming to you about anything. Why would you go to somebody that you feel already let you down? That's why you, as the adult or parent or uncle or aunt, needs to be going to the children, because they're not emotionally intelligent yet, because you're not either, especially if you're saying that the children need to come to you. That means you need to grow up, babe. That means you need, this up here is not working correctly, okay? So parents, make sure that you are speaking with your children and coming from a place of love and understanding and trying to understand where they're going, what they're trying to do, what direction they're trying to go in, and try and guide them in the most proper way possible, because that's what they need. And they need you to be there with love and affection and not funds, okay? Money isn't everything. And that's where people get everything mixed up and wrong throughout this world in their life. Money don't get you nowhere. Love gets you everywhere. People, when you're a social butterfly, it's because people love you. It's not because you have funds. Come on, get it together. Okay? So that's my tidbit about emotional intelligence and the 3 key factors I feel like play into that. Please comment. Let me know what factors you feel like play into that. Like, subscribe. I do appreciate you for being here, watching. Sorry about the light and the location, but life happens, good and bad. you just got to deal with it. I mean, you got to roll. And so I'm doing that. And I thank God for that because He put that in me and my emotional intelligence. Okay? So this is the SAD series where we talk about things that stress us out, give us anxieties and depression, but we also want to learn how to heal from these things. Okay? Because if you are not learning and healing from these things, your emotional intelligence is in an all-time low. Thank you for being here. Geek Nerdy out.